Webster and Hewitt feign one way, then come the other, and the world champions are through into the lead, beating the Egloffs fairly and squarely. The world champions were to slowly pull away from the Egloffs, who were to come under intense pressure from Rolf Bieland. Meanwhile, back up at the Corkscrew, it was all happening. Canadian Tony Weissens was about to go for a bit of a free ride. Over goes the outfit, and Weissens very lucky to get out from underneath the LCR. His passenger not too happy either. Whilst Weissens is carried away, his outfit is somewhat second-hand. A bit of a bumpy ride there for the Canadian. Back on the track, number 3, that's Egbert Stroyer and Bernie Schneiders, were not having a particularly happy time. Schneiders actually losing the visor on his helmet, and that caused him real problems, much to the annoyance of Egbert Stroyer. The battle for second and third now. Rolf Bieland right behind the Egloffs. He'll get past them just around the corner. So Bieland second, the Egloffs third. Meanwhile, back at the Corkscrew, it all went wrong for Derek Jones and Peter Brown. Jones goes over, and Brown takes a flyer. And Derek Jones is caught underneath the outfit. And this is where it gets really interesting. In real time, the marshal does his very best to, well, get out the way of everybody else. Brown doesn't really want to have much to do with anything. Meanwhile, Derek Jones climbs out from underneath the outfit. And a bit of a discussion going on between the marshals. And Derek Jones says, look, the race is still on. Can we get going, please? Brown has somewhat disappeared. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He's coaxed back by one of the marshals. Meanwhile, Bieland is out. Rolf Bieland, who had been in second place, dropped to third. He's out of the race with the retirement. So up into second place go the Egloffs once again, but they're being challenged by Alain Michel. Meanwhile, back at the Corkscrew, just listen to the crowd. Would you believe it? Yes, Derek Jones gets away to the applause of the crowd, but what they didn't know, they'd lost their battery and couldn't restart. So on the penultimate lap, this was the battle for second place. The Egloffs now coming under increasing pressure from Alain Michel and Jean-Marc Fresque. On then to their final lap, Steve Webster and Tony Hewitt, the world champions from Great Britain, of course, heading towards victory in the opening round of the FIM Sidecar World Championship Series here. Finishing in second place will be Alain Michel and Jean-Marc Fresque, and in third spot, the Egloffs. But what, we hear you ask, happened to Derek Jones and Paul Brown? Well, what we can tell you, they pushed their outfit over 1 mile to the finish. No power from the engine, just muscle power. And they were classified 15th and gained 1 World Championship point. Who can say the British spirit has died?